Check, check. This is the headset. That's good? Okay, and this would be... Shabbat Shalom. Good evening, everyone. Wonderful to have you here at Ahavat Shalom as we celebrate Shabbat. Bruchim Habaim. Welcome to those who are watching in TV land on the live stream. As you can see, it is just me, Rabbi Matt, and over there, our accompanist Joy Katzen-Guthrie. So it's going to be a duo today. It'll be tough for me to catch a breath, every once in a while. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We're going to start with a version of Hine Matov. You can find the text in your prayer books, Dwelling Place of Prayer, Mishkan Tefillah on page 10. All of the service slides are right on display for you as well. Is to be together, whoa, 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 whoa. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. How good it is to be together. How good it is to be together. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's sing now, Light These Lights, as we prepare to light the two candles for Shabbat. The bracha, the blessing for the candles, is found on page 2. And I'd like to invite any of the ladies who'd like to join us to help light the candles and recite the blessing. It'd be great to have you up on the bima. Hear my prayer, I sing to you. Be gracious to the ones I love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear my prayer to you. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. Please join us in song. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech olam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel shah. Yasher koach, well done. Shabbat shalom. Let's turn our hearts eastward for a moment, thinking about and offering a special prayer for Israel as the fighting has resumed and the truce has ended. You'll be able to join me right on the screen. O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the shelter of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. May you bless the soldiers of the Israeli Defense Forces and all who stand guard to protect our people. Shield them from all troubles and injury. Help them secure freedom without loss of life for all those held captive by the enemy. May they have strength and courage of heart. May it be so. We'll continue now with the Shabbat song on page 24. Shalom Aleichem, peace be to you, Melachim, messengers of the Most High. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hashari, Malachei Elyon, Yi Melech, Malachei Amlaki, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barkuni L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seidhem L'Shalom, Malachei Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Making our way to Shema and its blessings, please join me in chanting the Chatzi or half Kaddish, words of praise. Yitkadal, Yitkadal, Shemei Ra, V'yam Rute, V'yam Rute, V'chai, Ubizechemata Damiran Bialma Vimeru. Let's rise for the call to prayer, the Baruch Hu, found on 28. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, lai lai. Baruchu et Adonai, Amevora. Baruchu et Adonai, Amevora. Baruch Adonai Amvora, Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Adonai Amvora, Leolam Va'ed. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai. Let's turn to page 31, a reading for Mariv Aravim. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. And to change it up a little bit, we'll be doing a reading on the top of page 33, also on the screen. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Hev Amo. We'll sing Open Up Our Eyes together. Open up our eyes, teach us how to live. Fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. Open up our eyes, teach us how to live. Fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. And we will know that you are one. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Feel free to be seated. You got some good singing voices this evening, I must say. We're going to continue with the chanting of the Via Hafta, which is also found in Deuteronomy chapter 6. You shall love Adonai your God. Please join me. Via Hafta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha uv'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom alevavecha vishinantam levanecha vidibarta bam vishivtecha bevetecha uvlachtecha vaderen uvshochbecha uvkumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha leman tizkeru vasitem et kol mitzvotai bitem kedoshim leloechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem. Join me in reading for freedom, Emet ve'emunah, truth and faith, on 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we are taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness. There is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. So, for our Mi Chamocha, next week you'll hear special Hanukkah version to Ma'otzor, Rock of Ages. But this week is going to be Beach Boys, Help Me Rhonda, one of my favorite Beach Boys songs for that. So if you got any basses in the crowd, like boom, 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 boom. All right. Well, the Israelites were running scared down in Egypt's land. They didn't even have the time to break the bread as planned. With the soldiers coming up from behind, they knew they didn't have much time to get to the other side of the Red Sea, dry land. Mi kamocha, 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 ba'elim Adonai. Miriam and the ladies, man, they could really croon. So they led the Israelites in a great big Broadway tune, with the shiny timbrels in their hands and the knowledge that God was grand. And they said, Mi kamocha, no one is like Hashem. Boom, 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 boom. Mi kamocha, 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 ba'elim Adonai. Probably the only Mi Chamocha in the country to help me Rhonda this evening. I think I would put a penny on that one. All right. Yeah, a couple of years ago, we did a whole Beach Boys themed Shabbat. That was pretty cool. All right, so we're going to continue with the Hashkivenu, this arrangement by Craig Taubman. If you know the other part of the chorus that I usually sing, feel free to add that. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom Hamidenu shomrei nu lechaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom Hamidenu shomrei nu lechaim Ushmor Seitenu Uvoenu Lechaim Alo Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom Hamidenu lechaim Hamidenu shomrei nu lechaim. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. We're going to rise now, turning to the words of the Tefillah, our standing prayers, that begin on page 46. Adonai, open up my lips. Adonai, sifatai tiftach, ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'Konei Hakol, Ve'Zocher Chasei Avot V'Imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'nehem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magin, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, V'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol, Atah Rav Le'Oshia, Mashiva Ruach U'Morid Agashem, Mechakel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechaye HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Micha Mocha Bal Givurot, Umido Melach, Melech Meimit Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman Atah L'chayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye HaKol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yalu chased. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Feel free to be seated. We'll continue now with a prayer for Shabbat. You'll find it on page 55 for Shabbat and its holiness, Baruch Atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. On the next page at the bottom, let our eyes behold your loving return to Zion. Blessed are you, God, whose presence returns to Zion. Baruch Atah Adonai HaMachazir Shechinato Letzion. And words of gratitude on 59. Baruch Atah Adonai Hatov Shimcha Ucha Na'eh Lechodot. And our prayer of peace, Birkat Shalom, is found on page 60. Shalom Rava Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Grant abundant peace to Israel, your people forever, for you are the sovereign God of all peace. May it be pleasing to you to bless your people Israel in every season and moment with your peace. Blessed are you, God, who blesses your people Israel with peace. Baruch Atah. And for reflection, the words of Suri Adonai Suri Vegoali. Adonai Suri, Adonai Suri, Adonai Suri Vegoali. Yiyu leratzon imrefi imrefi Hegyon libi lefanecha. Yiyu leratzon imrefi imrefi Hegyon libi lefanecha. On the screens, you see our prayer for healing. Mi sheberach, God, the one who blesses those in need of strength and courage. This time, we'll turn to page 253 if you have your prayer book in front of you. First, calling to mind those in the land of Israel who are casualties of the war. We hope and pray for their healing, as well as the emotional and physical healing of the returned Israeli hostages. And to their names we add the following: Jacqueline Albin, Joanne Beeman Fiddleman, Yonatan Ruven Ben Rivka, Charlie Burke, Babs Brown, Marie D'Alessandro, Stephen Drenane, Norman Fiddleman, Harry Fleisch, Denise Freifeld, Mitchell Freifeld, Leo Goldberg, Jos Grobe, Maya Herman, Lucy Lang, Michael Renzino, Stephanie Ross, Carol Sabani, Dennis Schulman, Albert Schaefer, and Jeff Stark. And if there are other names that you'd like to add for healing at this time, feel free. Mi shebehera avoteinu mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi shebehera imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Believe it or not, there was a small window of time in the mid-1980s that I liked wrestling. Mind you, I'm not talking about myself getting into the ring, but professional wrestling. Now, this is during the heyday of the WWF, the World Wrestling Federation. It's called something else now, which featured, back in the day, top-grossing stars like Hulk Hogan, an all-American type who theatrically tore off his yellow shirt at every single match, Andre the Giant at 7'1", who parlayed his fame to play the kind-hearted Fezzik in the classic film The Princess Bride, and Randy the Macho Man Savage, who is probably best known post-career for his meat stick advertising line, "Snap into a Slim Jim." I'll ask our tech team to put a montage of a couple of them on the screen. Now, some of you might be wondering, was there ever a famous Jewish pro wrestler? And indeed there was. Not when I was interested in wrestling, but in the late 1990s. And his name was Bill Goldberg, that is. He's the one right on the left. The son of a classical violinist and an OBGYN physician, Goldberg became a bar mitzvah at the Reformed Synagogue Temple Israel in Tulsa, Oklahoma. In college, he played football at the University of Georgia in Athens, and after a pretty short stint in the National Football League, cut short by injury, he was eventually recruited during his rehab to become a pro wrestler. At one point, he won a staggering 173 matches in a row over 461 days. I bring Goldberg's profession to your attention because, as it happens, Jews also happen to be quite good at it. For as we learn in this week's Torah portion, Vayishlach, which means "and Jacob sent," wrestling is at the very heart of Judaism. 20 years removed from his dream about the ladders ascending to heaven and the angels going down and up, Jacob learns that his twin but slightly older brother Esau is in the area with a fairly large retinue. Now, the last time these brothers met face to face, things were not going well because Jacob got the best of Esau. His name is Esav in Hebrew, not once but twice, upsetting the biblical order where the eldest child receives the inheritance, as well as the final blessing of the father, of the parents. Now, because of this and his trepidation, Jacob sent a number of messengers ahead to greet Esau bearing gifts to gain his favor. But the night before the reunion, Jacob was kind of on his own on the other side of the river Jabbok, which, interestingly enough, is Yaakov backwards. He wrestled with what the Torah calls an ish. Now, an ish can mean a man. An ish can also mean an animal at times. And probably more importantly for this moment, an ish can mean an angel. I'll ask our tech team to put this beautiful and ethereal Marc Chagall rendition of what this might have looked like. Here, Jacob and the angel grapple in both a physical and spiritual sense. Though it should be noted that some, including myself, believe that Jacob was most likely just wrestling with himself, perhaps coming to terms with his sneaky, albeit divinely sanctioned, double switcheroo. First, with Esau selling Jacob his birthright for a cup of stew. And second, when Jacob wears animal fur to pretend he was his hirsute brother Esau when receiving Isaac's final blessing. After all, the prayer that we just chanted in the Tefillah says, Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, not Abraham, Isaac, and Esau. After an epic all-night battle, dawn begins to break, and Jacob asks the angel to grant him a blessing before he lets go. Now, Jacob, whose original name was Yaakov, which means heel, because when he was born, he was actually holding the heel of his twin brother and really wrestling with him within their mother's womb, was given a new name, Yisrael, meaning one who wrestles with God. To this day, the Jewish people as a whole are still called Yisrael. Now, Jacob doesn't come out of this dream or this wrestling match unscathed. He actually limps away from the encounter. When concluding the story of Jacob's struggle, the Torah then adds the following historical note, quote, "This is why the children of Israel to this day don't eat the thigh muscle that's on the socket of the hip, since this is where Jacob's injury took place." The Hebrew word for this part of the anatomy is called gid hanasheh, which is understood to be the sciatic nerve. Incidentally, the Aramaic word gidin, which is drawn from the same root, describes the sinew or tough fibrous tissue that's used to sew the pieces of Torah parchment together, same Hebrew root. In the 13th century, a rabbi named Chizkuni, what a name, offers two wonderful possibilities regarding the connection between Jacob's wrestling, his wound, and removing the sciatic nerve, which is actually part of kashrut, or Jewish dietary law, when slaughtering animals. One idea that he gives is that this practice is a powerful reminder that we trace our lineage all the way back to Jacob, who wrestled with an angel or himself. The other idea Chizkuni gives is that Jacob stopped eating the sciatic nerve, I don't know if it was tasty or not, as part of a deal to promote his healing, as if he were praying, "Heal me, and I'll never eat that part of the animal again." Now, I'm sure that any number of people who deal with sciatica pain would make a similar deal in a heartbeat. Either way, this story connects us in a very real and powerful way with our biblical patriarch, whether we eat meat or we don't. As we bear witness to the events unfolding in Israel, some or many of us may be feeling a bit like Jacob before his meeting with Esau. We're anxious, stressed, uncertainty what's going on in the war in Gaza, which has resumed after a truce. Thankfully, we're in fighting 104 Israeli hostages at the Jerusalem bus stop right at the entrance to the city. I've passed it many times, which took the lives of 3 Israelis. A 4th Israeli, who heroically neutralized the terrorists, was mistakenly killed by Israeli soldiers. In the end, Jacob's reunion with Israel actually turned out all right. There didn't seem to be any acrimony, and the text in Torah tells us Esau ran to greet him. He embraced Jacob, and falling on his neck, kissed him, and they wept. I'll ask our tech team to display an artist's depiction of this moment on the screen, probably a woodcut or a lithograph. It was made in 1881. But there's something very unique about the Hebrew word used for their embrace or kiss in the Torah. There are actually dots atop each of the letters, 6 of them in total. I'll ask our text team to show a picture of it right there. Hopefully you can see the dots or the diamonds. Scholars often call these puncta extraordinaria, which means extraordinary points. Now, this only occurs 9 other times in the Torah, so we know that it's special and worthy of note. As you might expect, the rabbis had a field day with those dots. Some suggest the dots over the letters convey that Esau's kiss was genuine and authentic, while others suspect the kiss wasn't actually reflective of the inner feelings of Esau, meaning it was a treacherous kiss. An interpretation that plays on the linguistic similarity between the Hebrew word for kiss, which is neshek, and bite, which is neshech. So you can hear the difference at the end. At the end of the day, there's a lot of ambiguity regarding what actually happened, so it's really up to us to wrestle with its meaning. To be Jewish is to wrestle. Jacob wrestled with the angel, or maybe himself. Esau most likely wrestled in the sense that he could have exacted revenge for the trickery of his twin brother, but instead he chose to embrace Jacob. Back in the late 1990s, another Jew named Goldberg was an incredible wrestler. To be sure, not many athletes win 173 matches in a row. And today, all of us, each in our own way, wrestle with the reality of war in Gaza. This war against Hamas is necessary and it's just. It's a battle between good and evil, and the stakes are very high. The state of Israel needs secure borders in the south as well as in the north, where its citizens can feel safe and the risk of terrorism is contained. Though there are many people in the world who are against the state of Israel and her right to use force to defend the Jewish homeland, so many of us here and in so many places in the world do stand with Israel. We are Yisrael, wrestlers who embrace the challenges that life puts before us. And as we draw near to the season of light and miracles, with Hanukkah just around the corner, note my tie, may God grant each of us the strength and courage to recognize the value and meaning found in our wrestling. Though it's not always easy, we need to make the best of it and find those silver linings that will continue to give us hope. Shabbat Shalom. We're going to continue in this day of no rest for Rabbi Matt with the Aleinu on page 282. Please rise as I open the ark. Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol latet gedula l'retzer breshit shelo asanu kegoye aratso velo samanu kamishpachot adama shelo sam chelkenu kahem vigor aleinu kekol hamonam vanachnu korim umishakavim umodim lifnei melech amlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'nemar v'ayadonai l'melech kol ha'aretz bayomahu yeh Adonai. Also words of praise on page 294. So we think of families in the period of Shloshim, the first 30 days mourning their loved one, as we remember Billy Winters, grandson of Maya Herman. We remember Jerry Karp, husband of Pauline Karp, and we remember Dr. Bob Rosen, husband of Debbie Rosen. We also mark the recent passing of the first woman Supreme Court Justice, the trailblazing Sandra Day O'Connor, as well as the statesman Henry Kissinger. To these names, we mark the yahrzeit anniversary of passing of loved ones. This Shabbat, we remember Harold Berman, Jill Biederman, Leah Bloom, Betty Bloomberg, Ulta Burrows, Mary Jo Colesso, Stanley Carlton, Gerald Charkins, Bertha Charkins, Gloria Emily Diamond, Patricia Frank, Beatrice Glenn, Saul Gold, Celia Hadberg, Ben Hochhauser, Lester Horwitz, Sylvia Kaiser, Harold Kaiser, Lonnie Kaplan, Liba Katz, Janice Kornfeld, Jonathan Krieger, Irving Larish, Sidney Leader, Rose Lee, Newton Levy, Donald Nels, Mary Nels, Gabriel Oren, David M. Reisberg, Pat Rose, Doris Sayoff, Lena Schiffman, Eugene Semsey, Mildred Shopro, Neil Scheidler, Martin Slavny, Harry Snell, Eureka Teitelroyd, Marriott Waxman, Thelma Wassoff, Nanette Weiss, Anna R. Weiss, and Murray Zander. Are there any other names to add for yahrzeit, please? Thank you. We say Zichronam Livracha, may the memories of all of these good people continue to be a bracha, blessing in their loved ones' lives as we rise to offer the words of Kaddish praise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, b'yalmach chirtei b'yamtei, ma'achon of yomechon, chayei Yisrael, b'yisman karib, amen. Yehei rabbah mevorach le'amei l'mayah, mevorach v'yishtabach, amen. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol. Preteens and kids who want to join me on the bina for our blessing over Kamala. Normally, I don't like that, but that's not going to help us tonight. Tevon, enjoy. Yasher koach. Well done. Before we get to the Shabbat announcements, pleasure to call forward Don Hirschman as well as Linda Heifetz for a very special blessing on the occasion of both of their retirements. I think we have a Mazel Tov slide. And I know at least one of you has a birthday coming up, probably right at the end of Hanukkah. All right, if you go on this side, then you'll be seen by the people back home. If you're over here, no one's going to see you at home. To our two retirees, a very, very special blessing for you. another version of the Misha Barak prayer, God the one who blessed. It can be used for healing, but it also can be used for simchas, or moments of joy and moments of sacred transition. Misha Barak avotenu v'imotenu Avraham, Yitzhak v'Yaakov, v'imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Rachel v'Leah. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah, bless the two of you. Like Abraham, may you have courage to embark on new and exciting journeys. Like Isaac, may you embrace the world with love. And like Jacob, may you wrestle with challenges and triumph to be blessed. May you be like Sarah, whose experiences were filled with joy and laughter. May you be like Rebekah, willing to help others as you continue your life's journey. May you be like Rachel, loved by all who meet you. And may you be like Leah, blessed by the love of family who will always cherish you. For reaching this moment, let's sing Siman Tov and Mazel Tov. Siman Tov and Mazel Tov and Mazel Tov and Siman Tov. Siman Tov and Mazel Tov and Mazel Tov and Siman Tov. Siman Tov and Mazel Tov and Mazel Tov and Siman Tov. Yelanu. Yelanu. Yeah. Very nice. And my pleasure. So Don serves as the secretary on our board and our leadership, but it's my pleasure now to call up Jory Masarski, who also serves on our board as temple leadership, for some upcoming announcements. Shabbat Shalom.
Good evening. First, I'd like to welcome those of you who may be attending services here at our temple for the first time. It is truly our pleasure to have you with us this evening. Many thanks to Rabbi Matt and Joy for leading a wonderful Shabbat service. Thank you also to our tech team, Steve Konigsberg and Ed Marks. Adolf is coming to Temple Ahavat Shalom. Adolf is coming to Temple Ahavat Shalom on Thursday, December 21st at 7 p.m. Tickets are $15. After the service, please join us for an Oneg Shabbat refreshment in the social hall. Mazel Tov to Don and Linda. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you so much, Jory. We are going to conclude our service by singing Israel's national anthem, the Hope, Hatikva. I'll ask us to rise and face the blue and white Israeli flag as we sing these words together. Kolod balevav penima nefesh Yehudi homia ufate mizra kadima ayin letzion Sophia od lo avda tikvatenu hatikva bashnot apayim liotam hoshi ve'artenu eretz